unprecedented growth watched or has been went through growth rate over the last 25 years, coming from a niche market to a full industry with a full of respect and full of acceptance and support from all over the world. Why? Let me to share with you how I can see any financial system, any successful financial system coming from the socialism, the capitalism, Islamic with ethics, which is as mentioned by Professor Akbar. It's not an Islamic because of the Holy Quran. It's an Islamic because of the ethics, the moral coming from the Old Testaments, New Testaments, and the Holy Quran itself. It's something for humanity, something for fairness, something for morality, something for justice. Talking about distribution, justice in distribution of wealth. So how we can describe any successful financial system? Financial system should looks like a bird having two wings, which is we're talking about the commercial and the solidarity-based finance mechanism. If we look at any financial system from this point of view, we can see this financial system can serve, can support the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals with the 169 targets. We went through a long study jointly with the UNDP Center in Istanbul. When we was talking about this issue, when we came last year, talking about the role of Islamic finance and how we can use such instruments to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals and the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. We was analyzing our industry first to see what is the strengths and weaknesses. We found that the industry succeeded in the last 40 years, having the commercial side in a very proper way. I will share with you just a couple of slides. Just when I will talk about how we was reading the Sustainable Development Goals, when we are looking at it, it's a development goals for considering the present and the future development. It shouldn't take just talking about today. We have to think about future. In the same time, it's an integrates between the economic development, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability. In Islamic finance, did we succeed in these three areas? Yes, we succeeded in the area of economic development for sure, because the industry is related to real economy, attached, linked to real economy activities. Social, yes, because this is the other wings, which is talking about solidarity based. Yet, in the area of environmental sustainability, not yet. We are thinking we have a lot of instruments, a lot of tools that can be implemented, like the green sukuk, like many other examples that we can share. Preserve also the and efficient usage of the natural resources, because we have to think about the new generation, the future. Encompasses both science and morality to save humanity for the long run. If we are looking for what type of the four priorities to finance SDGs, was talking about first, investment flows will have to come increasingly from private sector. Here we was talking about was the center in Istanbul and say how we can have that. Here we came with an investment in banking. If you see, you look at the word investment or impact investing, it came on 2007 as known for our today, but it's there for 1437 years. It's part of the Islamic finance principle, Islamic principle. It's there because we are by default, we are linked to the economy. We are linked to fairness, to the justice, to distribution of wealth. Domestic resources also, mobilization can play a key role in achieving SDGs. Without domestic resource mobilization, it will be not an easy job to do. Official development assistance, ODA, must be blended with private sources or crowd in other funding sources. We created a model, which is we will share on Thursday on our meetings, called 4Ps, PPPPs, which is between private, public, people, and partnership. This is, we have to bring people if you are talking about justice and wealth distributions. Also MDBs, they have to think and to take a different, up a different role. They cannot cover all the needs of $5 to $7 trillion every year to be able to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Talking about Islamic finance again, if you are looking as a bird with two wings, talking about something which can bring justice, fairness, and morality. It's a system based on a moral principle, backed by a set of legal rules like Sharia, which is talking in guiding economic behaviors. The system aiming to achieve the balance between market incentive and the philanthropic motives, and promoting the economic development and social justice through the principle of risk and rewards, which is we're talking about risk sharing, profit and loss sharing models. We don't want to put more burden on people by financing and charging them an interest without having a real impact on the economy. Finance should be tightly integrated with the real economic activities, as we mentioned. So I will go through how the industry looks like today, how we can see it. We succeeded in the first part, in the top part, which is the commercial part, serving high net worth individual, ultra, government, sovereign funds, but we didn't yet succeeded in the area, which is because it's only a few players. One of them is IDB, playing that role, which is lower mass and the economically disadvantaged people through the Waqf, which is the Islamic Endowment Project, which is we have a very unique models running for the last 14 years, which is we have to share. It's an investment model contributing to the social impact of the communities worldwide. Zakat, also we have Sadaqah, we have Qard Hasan. We have to know and we have to have the technique and the instrument that we can be able to tackle this. Microfinance and to be attached with micro takaful is one of the tools that we have to concentrate on. So there's a lot of challenges facing the Islamic finance industry, which is we are working on that on a daily basis, and IDB taking the global lead on that. One of them, which is the most important, continuing development of the financial products and that have a positive impact on the economy. Also, the development of Islamic microfinance for poverty alleviations, and talking about the encouragement of financing income generation, awqaf, which is endowment projects, and the capacity building for the endowment institution worldwide. These are the most three areas that can contribute to the area of the Islamic finance impact investing platform. As I mentioned, it was joining forces for the Sustainable Development Goals between IDB and the UNDP and the center in Istanbul, which was targeting for the scale of the sustainable development challenges are beyond government resources. When we discovered that, and this has been mentioned and discussed in last year event, we were talking about in the area of poverty, social inequality, and the environmental risk. Let's talk about the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. We should participate. We should bring any other tools can help in achieving and implementing this. We did a study in IDB, which was talking about the role of Islamic finance in supporting the SDGs, and the three main pillars in the area of Islamic finance: financing for social development, and financing for infrastructure development, and financing innovation to achieve efficiency. And we linked this with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations and with 169 targets. And we was very realistic, what we can achieve and what we cannot achieve. We don't want it to think big and to dream big and think beyond. We have to be realistic on what the tools that we have, what we can achieve, especially when you are talking about a regulatory, legal framework in the countries that you have to apply such instruments. We have to be realistic and we have to attach ourselves. So we came out with the Global Islamic Finance and Impact Investing platform. I remember, my friend Marcos and Galchin, when we met in 2015, in December 2015, in Phosphor Summit in Istanbul, it was like a dream. It was a big dream. And we was looking for each other and say, can we do it? Can we achieve that? How we can bring people on the same table and talking same language? Are we realistic? Is it that much big? So we decided at that time to take the risk. And because we believe in what we have and what we can achieve. We believe in the tools that we have. Let me to share with you something very important. We are talking about an industry with estimated of $2.2 or $2.3 trillion, only built in the area of the commercial, not yet the area of, which is we call it solidarity-based financing, not yet touched. It's just very little, very small. Let me to share with you some numbers. We run a study, and our estimations on the zakat only, annual zakat can be collected is more than 200 billion US dollars. If you are talking about the income generating Islamic endowment assets worldwide is more than $3 trillion. Not yet touched, not yet tapped. And we know how to tap it, we know how to target this, and we know how to bring it to the real impact of and achieving and implementing the Sustainable Development Goals. Very quickly, just to share with you what we have under this Islamic finance impact, for sure. We have something very important too. It's something established, as I mentioned, by Islamic Development Bank with the UNDP Istanbul International Center for Private Sector and Development, to connect Islamic finance with the impact investors and impact enterprises, drives the innovations, business solutions to help address the sustainable development challenges in a fair, transparent, quantifiable, and variable manner. We was looking, as I mentioned, between what the terms of investment impact investing and Islamic finance. It's similar. There is no difference. We are talking in a different words. We are using different terms, but it's there. So when we was looking, guys, this is the industry that we are working day and night for. So it's our dream now to connect ourselves to this global system and to come to see the real value of the Islamic finance industry. It's not a religion. It's something talk about fairness, morality, justice. If we can benefit from that, let's to implement it. If not, let's to take it away. So we came with a vision of this platform, and we was talking about positioning Islamic finance and impact investing as leading enablers of a global SDG implementation through private sector engagement. As I mentioned, the burden is beyond anybody alone, beyond MDBs. We should bring private sectors. We had a very good initiatives with the World Bank under something we call it New Innovative Finance Mechanism, and we implemented Sukuk instruments to help for recovery and reconstruction of MENA countries. It was a very new innovative, and taking such instruments to tap the Islamic capital market or the conventional capital market to make them as a partner in our visions. Our mission also in this platform, the platform will strategize and nurture an Islamic finance and impact investing business ecosystem through developing a spectrum of Sharia compliant impact investing tools and instruments. We don't yet have the tools, but I'm sure we will be able to, inshallah, to do it. And improving the access of impact enterprises for Islamic funding. Thank you very much.